Hey everybody, I'm Jessica, and today I am excited to return again to talking about a mystery game. You've heard me talk about them before potentially, but came across a pretty cool one. This is Blackbrim 1876 by Puzzling Pursuits. Should actually go over there so that there's fancy screen stuff. But this is part of kind of a series. There's Blackbrim and there's also La Familia, which I have not played yet. This is an interesting one where it's sort of a mystery box and you are playing through. There's giant envelopes. No spoilers in this. I'm just kind of going through how to play, but no actual contents or anything I'm going to show. But there's a part one, which is where you're going to start. And in that, there's all different types of clues that you need to actually solve and piece together for the first part of the mystery. And once you get through that, there's a larger part two envelope. Again, not showing anything here, but I really like these containers because on the back, they actually look like little briefcases or suitcases that kind of latch together. This is just, paper slash cardboard, but it's more papery, but it's really cool just to have the presentation there. But what is this actually about? And real quickly, I think some of the puzzle boxes and playing these solo has some limitations because who is playing? It's just you. So you're limited by sort of your expertise in certain puzzles and your knowledge. So solo puzzles and kind of mystery games like this, I enjoy them, but there is a certain point, I think we all have it, when we cannot just sit there and try to solve something forever. I've been through this. I look at something and I'm like, I don't know how to solve this. If I was in a group, maybe, but me, I have no idea. So the nice part about the Puzzling Pursuits, though, is that they have a website, not an app, a website where you can go to actually get hints for each little piece of the puzzle. Because in those envelopes that I showed, these are going to have little puzzles in them and kind of clues that you have to figure out. It's not just, you don't just solve part one. It's not just everything is one. You have little pieces to get to the ultimate solution for part one, which then lets you move on to part two and you kind of repeat it, but not quite. So I started to struggle with this, as I always do, because again, I don't know how to solve these. I consider myself an amateur detective, right? Let me tell you one thing. Who is not an amateur detective? Jessica Fletcher from Murder, She Wrote, all right? No. She claims she's an amateur detective in all of these. She knows what's going on. There's a conspiracy theory that she did all the murders and everything. I believe this. Anyway, in those, I love that show to death. But the only way I solve it is because if you watch this, slight spoiler, the camera will focus on one little piece of information or this one little object that seems to have nothing to do with anything. Boom, there's your answer. That's who did it. You solve that. You figure out who ties into that object or whatever, and you've solved it. Anyway, that's just, a little background on my amateur detective status. I can't solve these things. I love trying to, and in the rare instances where I actually get a puzzle correct, it's awesome. I solved a couple of these myself, which was really fun, but most of them I needed a hint. And going back to what I'm talking about here as I digress off on a tangent, the website has a way for you to just start getting clues. They are helpful hints, so it's not like it's going to be go in there, get a slight hint and be like, oh, I think I know what I have to do. It kind of does point you in the right direction before giving you the answer. So I thought this was a very neat way to do it, especially solo, because again, not everybody knows everything. We all can't solve every type of puzzle, and clues that make absolutely no sense, getting a little context, a little hint really is helpful. So I thought this was really fun. I enjoyed following the storyline a little bit. It's not like this sweeping, huge story that you're following. But it was nice, and it was interesting. There was a map that I got to look at and sort of piece together some clues in that sense. I will not, again, no spoilers of what to expect, but just in a broad sense, part one had a lot of clues putting together there and sort of piecing those together and figuring out what went with what. For whatever reason, it's obvious, but to me it wasn't until I got a hint. So figuring those out was awesome. Part 2, though, has separate envelopes for separate puzzles. So they're a little more in depth. And I liked that because there were some that were great. There were some puzzles that I was like, yes, this is my type of puzzle. Awesome. Other ones I was like, you know what? Not my favorite, but I'm going to get some hints and kind of, go through it, which is another reason why this is nice. This is not just the same puzzle over and over and over again. It's not like, fill in this, I don't know, word search or something over and over again. And it's all different types of ones, using visuals, using some sort of math and letters and stuff like that. The only other thing that I would say that's a little bit different from other mystery games is that this one does require some outside research. So, technically, if you knew the specifics for this, it would not, but I'm guessing a lot of people are not going to know some of the things that are in here off the top of your head. So you might need to do some internet research, and it does come with, where did it come from? There is a little booklet that's right on top when you open it up. It's very quick, basically 2 pages just saying how it works, checking solutions and extra clues, and it does, it does warn you that you may get frustrated. That's kind of the allure. No, that's the wrong word. But that kind of goes along with solving these mystery games, especially solo. You're going to get frustrated. And figuring out your tolerance for how long you're going to try to solve this one thing can be very frustrating. So I do like the approach that they've taken in that they have a website where you can get hints. And it's not something to, there's nothing wrong with it. It's, I need a hint. Give me a hint. And then also checking your answers along the way is also nice, especially like in a few of these where I actually solved them myself with no hints. It was nice to be like, yes, I did it. Awesome. And getting to the end was also interesting. And it doesn't, maybe it doesn't quite end there, especially because if you check Puzzling Pursuits, they offer the sequel to this one already. So that's kind of cool just to be able to see that. So I had a lot of fun with this. Again, I thought it was really nice having these, part 1 and part 2. It doesn't look like a lot, but, I should have counted. There are probably, I want to say there's about 5 to 7 different puzzles in each of those envelopes total. So a pretty good amount of content that you're getting in there. And again, they're all very different. I did pretty well on a couple. I'm not going to lie here. I claimed it. All right. I own it. I'm an amateur detective. It's fine. But yeah, I am looking forward to playing the other one in this series and then maybe looking at some other ones. For me personally, I still like playing these solo, but I can also see potentially getting my parents to play and me sort of like making sure we're on track. They don't like board games. I ruined it for them years ago. Trying some things here. But that again was Blackbrim 1876 from Puzzling Pursuits. I do recommend it. Again, there's a couple of little caveats there, but playing solo, this one really does work well and offers a lot. So hopefully if you have it or if you're going to get it, enjoy it. Don't be afraid to use those hints and have fun being an amateur detective. Thanks for watching. Bye.